order to start living a life that is for you, that is authentic to you, this life that you are wanting to create for yourself, one of the things that you're going to have to get comfortable with is learning how to receive. And this may be really hard for a lot of you. If you're used to taking care of everybody else, if you're used to feeling like nothing will get done right if you don't do it yourself, if you've kind of put the weight of the world on your shoulders, learning how to receive is not an easy thing, but it's absolutely crucial in order for you to create this life, because there are so many things that we are subconsciously doing when we are not willing or able to receive help from others. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mayra if you're new here. On this channel, we discuss all things self-discovery, healing the feminine, and becoming the best version of ourselves. So if that's something that you're interested in, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and let's get on to the video. So for some reason, women have been conditioned to believe that they have to take care of everybody else. And a lot of the time, we have a really hard time receiving help in return. And for some reason, we just think it's like a rule for us to be self-sacrificing. And obviously it's because we've been kind of told that this is what a good woman does, right? And so receiving can be really hard for us when we are so used to doing and being things for other people. And we kind of have gone along with these rules and kind of adopted them as a part of our identity. And to be honest, so many of us are exhausted of carrying so much weight, feeling like we have the weight of the world on our shoulders, and we're just tired, and we often become resentful, we become bitter, we become angry. We carry a lot of anger within us because we feel like, why is it that I'm always constantly doing for others and people are not necessarily doing for me? And it's because somewhere along the way, we kind of just adopted this way of being without really seeing if there's another way for us to be living our lives. And in reality, it's kind of a choice, and it's a choice that we keep on choosing to make. A lot of us care, right? We're caring people. We're naturally nurturing. We want to take care of the people around us. But we also have to learn how to allow other people to take care of us too. Because when you are pushing away help, there's so many things that you are pushing away subconsciously. You may feel like, there's this life that I want, but if you're not able to receive, then subconsciously you could be pushing away the very thing that it is that you are trying to create more of in your life. What message do you think that you're giving off to the world when you are not willing to accept help? Whether that's the people in your life around you, your close friends, family, or even at work, right? When you kind of adopt this identity of being the strong one and the one that never needs anybody, the message that you're giving out to these people is, oh, she's got it. She doesn't need me. She likes taking care of things on her own. She likes to be in control. Whenever I ask her for help, she always denies it. So there's no point in asking anymore, right? We're creating these relationship dynamics within our lives of, I've got everything. I take care of everything. I'm Miss Independent. I don't need anybody. So the message that you're giving out to other people is just that. And then we're sitting here wondering, like, why doesn't anybody ever check on me? Why doesn't anybody ever ask me if I need help? Why don't people do as much as I do for them? It's because of the message that we're giving off to the world that we don't need help. So eventually people do stop asking if you need help. And then it's like people just, because they have labeled us as the strong ones, they start asking for more from us. Think about at work, you may be the person that gets stuff piled on and they keep adding tasks and they keep adding tasks, and you're exhausted and you're overwhelmed and you're like, oh my gosh, I am drowning, and keep adding stuff on. But it's because we're not willing to say, like, hey, I can't take on anymore. I'm doing 5 other people's jobs. I need to focus on, like, what's the priority here? But it's the message that we're giving off to other people when we are not willing to receive help. What is it that we are attracting in our lives? Because when we are the strong one and we're always wanting to be the one to help other people, but we're not the ones that accept help. We're attracting people in our lives that look to you to be like a savior to them. They look to you to fix all of their problems and to do all these things because you like to help, right? And so they look at you and like, wow, she's so strong, or like, she can help me, she can fix my problem. But the reality is, you can't really fix anybody else's problems, right? People have to fix their own problems. But because you give off that energy, you attract people like that. Maybe in relationships, you know, with your partner, you attract men who are very like, what's that, golden retriever energy, right? Where they're like, huh, yeah, whatever you say, you know, yeah, whatever, yeah, no problem, whatever you want to do, right? They're not making decisions, right? So you're stuck making all of the decisions. The point here is you're attracting people that really rely on on you being strong, so that they don't have to be strong. They know that you're going to handle everything. And I know there may be some resistance to accepting help. Maybe something in your past, you know, when you asked for somebody for help, you know, they let you down, or it wasn't genuine, you know, when they helped you, or they half-assed the job and, you know, you felt like you couldn't trust the help that you received. And I completely get that, because that's how I used to be with help. Like, I was super controlling in my life. I wanted things done a certain way. I also didn't want to accept help from other people because I felt like they would kind of hold it over me. And that's just from my upbringing, right? Where things felt very conditional. So I was always really wary of people and, you know, what their intentions were, right? And it wasn't until I made the decision that I no longer wanted to be strong anymore. I no longer wanted to be the person doing for everybody anymore, and that I wanted to learn to receive help. I had to let go of old thinking patterns that were keeping me stuck in this way of being, of like, oh, people, you know, aren't genuine when they ask to help me, or they're not going to do it right. Like, I had to let go of that. The way that things were in the past are not how they are now. It may be easy to get stuck in that way, in that way of thinking, but our life isn't like that anymore, right? Like, maybe these thinking patterns came from when we were a child. You know, like I was saying, things felt conditional. Yes, that happened, but that's not where I'm at now. So I can choose to let go of that. I have discernment now, right? Like, as an adult, I have discernment to be able to determine, like, this help seems genuine or not. But I had to heal that part of myself that felt like I was not able to receive. And a lot of it came from self-worth issues, right? Feeling like maybe I wasn't worthy of help or deserving of help, you know? And I had to get to a point where I realized, like, this isn't true, and I don't have to live my life like this anymore. And I had to make the choice to start healing those old ways of thinking that were keeping me stuck in this constant cycle of me doing, and never willing to receive, and exhausting myself, and then having that feeling of anger and resentment towards the people around me because I just felt like there was no level of reciprocity, when in reality I wasn't allowing it. I wasn't allowing me receiving. Like, I wasn't allowing that to happen in my life. So I invite you to look at your patterns of what it is that's making it so that you feel like you can't receive help. Figure out what that is and start taking steps towards healing those parts of you so that you can be a person that is able to receive, because you deserve to receive. You deserve help. You deserve to have relationships that have a level of reciprocity in them. And you can stop attracting people who are constantly looking, you know, for help, and, you know, where you're just giving and it's just draining. But until you believe that, you're subconsciously going to be pushing things away. And the universe is always listening. Your mind is always listening. Your mind is your very own hype man. It's gonna believe whatever it is that you tell it. So if you're constantly telling it, I don't deserve help, I don't deserve rest, I don't deserve love, and the things that you're wanting so badly, you're going to be subconsciously pushing them away. So pick something, sit with yourself, figure out what is coming up for you when you think about what it means to receive and what feelings come up for you when it comes to receiving. Figure out what your block is or your pattern is, when, the idea of receiving comes up. Now think about somebody that is able to receive. If you're like me, I'm a recovering overachiever, perfectionist, had low self-worth, and I wanted nothing more than to be a woman that was able to rest and that was able to receive help and that was able to allow joy and peace into my life, because when I was constantly doing, I felt so anxious and overwhelmed. So I had to think about, okay, this person, here I am, person A, and I want to be like person B, right? Think about a person who is able to receive. What are some of the things that person B is doing? And then pick how you're going to start going from A to B. Start small. I always, and everybody, I'm going to say always start small, because your nervous system needs to be regulated in order for you to actually take action. So pick one small thing that you can start doing to get to being the person that you're wanting to be, who's able to receive, and just start taking small, baby, actionable steps towards creating this new habit for yourself. So here are a few ways that you can start learning how to receive. Number one is to start filling your own cup first. Before you give into anybody else, you need to be giving to yourself first, because if you're somebody that's constantly always giving to other people, there has to be a level of reciprocity within you as a person to yourself, right? So you have to be giving to yourself as much as you give to other people. It has to be equal, or giving to yourself more, because you cannot give from an empty cup. Your cup has to be full in order for you to be able to give to other people. So maybe you're somebody that likes to enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning in silence. Maybe you can go and sit on your patio, or look out the window and just sit there in silence and just enjoy that cup of coffee to yourself, and just have that moment to kind of wake up and be and start the day to yourself. And maybe that means waking up a little bit earlier for you to be able to have that quiet time to yourself. Another thing you can do is journaling. I really love morning pages. I really like to just dump everything that's going on in my mind and getting it out of there and on a piece of paper, and so I can feel like clear and let go of all of those anxious, overwhelming thoughts that are circulating in my mind. I just get them out on a piece of paper, and that's it. Maybe you wake up and you exercise, or you go on a walk. It really all just depends. You have to figure out how you best fill your own cup, but don't wake up first thing in the morning and start your day focusing on other people and what's going on in the world. Don't open social media up, don't go on the news, don't check your emails. Like, give yourself that time first thing in the morning for just you, and then later on you can start checking in on other people, but give yourself that time first. The second thing you can start doing is learning how to receive a compliment. I know so many of us, when somebody compliments us, like, oh, your hair looks nice, like, oh, I need to wash it, it's so dirty. Or, I like your dress, oh, I got it at the thrift store, like $10. There's so many ways where you can literally be pushing a compliment away without accepting it, right? So learning how to just accept the compliment and just leave it at that. So just saying thank you, right? And that's going to be really hard. If you have a hard time receiving compliments in the beginning, it's going to be really hard to receive those compliments. If you need to walk away, walk away. But slowly over time, you can start adding, thank you so much for saying that. Thank you for noticing. Thank you for your kind words. Like, over time, it'll become easier, but just learn how to accept a compliment. Number 3, start asking for help on different things. And this one is going to be interesting, because you may start to realize how many times people are not going to be willing to help you. And this could be a little bit discouraging, right? Because we're so used to, if somebody asks us for help, we're like, yes, no problem. You're going to realize how much other people put themselves before they put anybody else. And I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing, but it's really a lesson for you to learn that, like, some people have no problem saying no, and that may be weird for you, because maybe you're just like, I couldn't even imagine if I said no. So that gives you permission. But 2, you might start noticing that the people around you that you've been attracting really don't care for you. They just kind of, I don't want to say used, but you've made it easy for them, like you always do for them. and they're not so much willing to do that for you. So you might notice that dynamic in the relationships. Then that's okay. You can't revert back to like, never mind, I don't need your help, I don't even know why I asked you. Like that anger that may come up, or that frustration that may come up, we're not going back to that. This is all just information of who the people are in our lives and who we've attracted because of our way of being, right? And as we get into this new way of being, they may fall to the wayside, or maybe it was just that thing that you asked them to do they weren't able to do then. Like that's fine, right? You figure out like which relationships are actually genuine, and focus on the ones that feel genuine and let go of the ones that don't. Start asking people to help you in simple ways. If you need to walk away, walk away. Don't even watch them, because things don't have to be done perfectly every time for them to be done, or done in the way that you want them done for them to be done. People have different ways of doing things, about going about things, and guess what? The thing still gets done. So if you need to walk away, do that, because having something done is better than having it be perfect. This is something that I really had to learn when I had my husband like start helping me with things around the house. Like, I literally had to walk away, because it was like it took everything in me not to try to take control of the situation and tell him how to do things, because I wanted it done my way. You have to let people do things their way, okay? It's a big lesson. And maybe when you come and check on it, it's not done in the way that you would have done it, but it's done. And that is now a task taken off of your to-do, and you can be okay with things not being perfect. I'm so much happier not having to do everything. If you're like, let's say at work, if you need to start delegating things, you have to be okay with letting this person sink or swim. You're still contributing to it and doing your part of it, but you have to allow other people to do their part, and let go of that like feeling like you have the weight of the whole project or whatever it is that you're working on your back. Like, you are one person. There's other people that need to contribute to this too. I'm sure you're not getting paid any more than them, even though you're doing more of the work. So let go of that. Allow other people to learn how to do things and do it their way, and just walk away and just be okay with whatever the result is. Be okay with it and just move on. The fourth thing you can do is to start looking around and see in which ways life is working for you. There are so many ways that life is working for us, and we are not able to see it because we have so much going on in our lives, and it's like we forget to stop and smell the roses, right? Anytime something positive happens in your life, say thank you to the universe, to your higher source, whoever it is that you believe in. If you are going to a restaurant that has terrible parking, and as soon as you pull in, a car pulls out and there's a parking spot right there for you, thank you so much, universe, for this parking spot. If you're super worried about something, how something is turning out, and it turns out in your favor, thank you so much for helping me with this, universe. If you see a beautiful sunset and it just like makes your day, thank you so much, universe, for your beauty. Start looking at the things in your life that are beautiful, that are working for you. Maybe you were going to buy something online, but you hold off on it. All of a sudden they're running a sale on it. Thank you for that. Like, find things in your life that are going well for you and just say thank you. And it can be simple things. They don't have to be these grand things, right? When you start focusing on the beauty and what's going positive in your life, your brain starts noticing them more and more and more, versus just constantly focusing on what's not going right. Just receive the beauty, receive the positive things, receive it. Just say, yes, thank you, more please, yes, thank you so much. Just like have that sense of gratitude for the little things in your life. And that's a way where you can start learning how to receive more. And the fifth thing is affirming. Affirming the things that you want to be happening in your life. Every day I'm learning to receive. I receive every day. People are willing to help me with things. I attract people who are willing to help me with things. The relationships that I have in my life are reciprocal and genuine. I am learning to receive compliments every day. I allow that positivity to come into me. Just affirm what it is that you're wanting to create more of in your life, because as women, we are creative beings. We can create so much in our lives, and sometimes we create things that overwhelm us, but we can also create a new way of being, and start stepping into that version of us that is able to create that life that you're wanting. So start creating the life that you want by affirming what it is that you're wanting more of in your life. I'm not saying that you have to stop helping people or taking care of people. It's that you need to be giving yourself just as much as you give to other people, like I said earlier, if not more, because you deserve it. That's simply it. You are worthy of it. You are deserving of it. You are deserving of help. You don't have to carry the weight on your shoulders. Like, I know you're tired. I know you're exhausted. You're probably burnt out, probably angry. You don't have to live your life that way. You just have to make the choice to start filling your own cup and allowing other people to help you, because you can't genuinely give to other people if you're feeling depleted. So if you are ready to start receiving, you're probably the person that everybody turns to when they have problems. If you're looking for that same energy for yourself, and you're ready to start experiencing more rest and more joy and ease in your life, and you just really don't know how to start, or you need support in the process, I would love to help support you on this journey on learning to receive. If that's something that you're interested in, I'll leave my discovery form link down below, and we can hop on a call and see how it is that I can best support you. I also have a free workbook that you can download on how you can start living your life for yourself again. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, give the video a like if you found it helpful, and share it with anybody that you think would benefit from this conversation. Also, check out this video right here, and I will see you in the next one.